going on, guys? This is Burrs. I'm here with Nate Murr and we're at the grip stop amongst other many awesome things. And today we're going to talk about the RMR and how to sight it in on your pistol. Now I have an RMR on my pistol, Nate, you have one on yours. So we're going to show you a real quick and easy way to sight it in on your pistol.
Alright, let's just go ahead and assume that you just got an RMR, you just mounted it to your slide, you haven't shot it, first rounds downrange is what we're doing here, right? So depending on what slide you have and what setting the clicks are for windage elevation that were set by the factory, you don't know where you're going to hit, right? So let's just make this super easy and start at a very close range. So say 10 feet, something like that. Something where you have plenty of paper to see where your rounds, that you can make some real large, gross adjustments before we move at a further distance to really fine tune that zero.
Alright, so I'm going to take the first shots with this RMR. I previously had a non-adjustable RMR on here. It was a little bit dim when it came to low light with using a flashlight and such. So I wanted to move to the adjustable to get more brightness on my RMR. So I've Loctited the screws on this. Put it on, and now we're going to do the first rounds.
Alright, Birds, what we're going to do is we're going to shoot 5 rounds, slow fire, focusing on the fundamentals of accuracy, just the fundamentals of marksmanship, as 5 consistent shots as humanly possible. Do not use Kentucky windage. Where the rounds strike is where the rounds strike, but you're going to aim for the center of that circle, 5 rounds slow fire. It takes 20 minutes to do it, it's 20 minutes. Alright, so you're pretty much hitting point of aim, point of impact. End of video! Sorry, no adjustments necessary.
Good job, Trichicon!
Alright, well this isn't going to help anybody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw up the zero on the red dot. Alright, let's do this again.
Hurry up with the camera work, camera boy. My nuts are freezing.
Why do we always do these videos in winter time? Why do we never do them in the summer?
Because then it gives us an opportunity for me to go in and for you to warm me up.
Oh, okay, yeah, no. Alright, 5 rounds, slow fire. Alright, so I took it like 10 clicks right and like 5 clicks up, and if anything I made your zero better. I was like, it wasn't enough to like screw it up, okay? So alright, let's just go off this. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, that was 5, right? So we're just slightly high, so if we just go off this, make the imaginary little crosshair, we're a little bit to the right and a little bit high. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down 10 clicks down, and then like 5 clicks left. Alright, same distance, same course of fire, 5 rounds, slow fire. Alright, so we're shooting a little bit too far left. I went too bold for the left adjustment, so we're just going to split the difference and go 3 clicks back to the right. But as far as elevation goes, that's pretty solid. Alright, Burr, so what we did is we went to about 15 yards. We got a pretty precise zero at that 5 feet, 10 feet, whatever that was. We're just going to increase distance and make fine-tune adjustments to the max range that we want to zero the optic to. So go ahead, 5 rounds slow fire, same point of aim. Alright, so you shot 5 rounds at about 15 yards. So your first 2 rounds, or 2 of your rounds out of 5 went here in the center. And you got this guy here, and that guy. That's pretty much a flyer, right?
The left
so
is my fuck up.
yeah, so you felt that, you felt yourself full of shot. So I'm not going to worry about this guy so much. The fact that you got 4 out of 5 within the fist size group at 15 yards, that's really good shooting. I mean, that's good. So this isn't inconsistent enough for me making any adjustments. That's why what we want to do is we want to get as precise of a zero as possible at a relatively close range, like 10 feet, 5 yards, something like that. We can get it dialed in here. It's not going to deviate that much when we get out to 15 yards or 25 or whatever, right? So you do your work up here at close range, and then you just make those fine adjustments the further out we get. So let's move out to 25. All right, same thing, 5 rounds, slow fire, center of mass, a silhouette target. 5 rounds, focusing on the fundamentals of marksmanship. Whenever you're ready, on you. So we can see that we're definitely high. That's consistency. We got 4 rounds high above the bullseye, and we got that one. That guy's just a flyer. You pulled your shot, probably over muscled the gun, whatever, right? So we're gonna go off this here, right? So if you see, you're kind of shooting consistently left down here before at the close range. Now it's amplified with distance. The further out we get, the more left it's gonna impact. You're gonna see that, right? As far as the spread goes, I mean, that's 25 yards. 25 yards is what a lot of people consider to be max effective range of a handgun. The majority of qualification courses out there are for 25 yards. So the fact that you have roughly a fist-sized group of 25 yards is actually good. This is a acceptable grouping at 25 yards with a handgun, all right? So we can see that we're high and that we're left. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it right and then down.
See, this is the other nice thing, is I can turn the light down since it's getting darker. A little bright.
Alright, so this is our first 25-yard grouping. We're going to go squares this time instead of circles. So that's 1 shot, 2 shots, 3, 4.
I think 5 somewhere in there. Actually, it's right in the, it's right above.
Oh, right there. Right. Alright, so you can definitely see the elevation drop, right, when we took it down. But this is a little bit of a spread, like you're hitting around it, right? You got one in the bull, 25 yards standing. I mean, that's a tough shot, right? A little bit larger than a fist-sized group. I would say let's not make any adjustments. Let's just shoot another grouping at 25 and see where it gets us. But I'm going to say this is probably a good zero. It's probably just shooter error at this point.
Definitely shooter error. I will accept that.
But same time, I mean, like, this is all center mass, fist-sized group. Those are all good, effective hits at 25 yards. So, I mean, like, all those shots would have been good shots. Alright, so we got 5 rounds. We're going to do triangles. this guy, this dude, another one here, that's 4, and this guy, right? So you're shooting around the bull, so that's good. That's definitely shooter error. You just got to bear down on the fundamentals, really vector in. But like the fact that it's consistent, I want to touch it, right? So since we made an adjustment from like the 15-yard line, we made that adjustment after that first initial 25-yard string of fire. What we're going to do is we're just going to confirm 0 at near range again. So what we're going to do is put ourselves a happy little terminal T there, right? Like Tactical Bob Ross over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 5 rounds right there in the ocular cavity, and as long as Burrs is basically keeping them in the T, I'm not going to mess with the 0 anymore. All right, so we're back at about 10 feet or so, that initial distance we started the zeroing process at, and all Burrs is going to do is he's going to shoot 5 rounds into the terminal T. If the majority of those rounds stay in that T, then we're not going to mess with the 0 any further. So 1U, 5 rounds, slow fire. Focusing on the fundamentals. Excellent. That's what I wanted to see. All right, so you're pretty much shooting right here for the juncture of the nose and the ocular cavity, right? So let's just go a little imaginary crosshair, maybe slightly low, but not enough to bother me, right? If you wanted, you can maybe put like 1 click up, but I probably won't even dick with that. So you guys see, nice shot group. I would trust that shot defensively. Like if you had to make a headshot, like somebody's holding a knife to a girl's throat or whatever, I would trust that grouping. That's a good 0. So we know at about 10 feet, this is what our grouping's gonna look like. And we know that at 25 yards, we have slightly larger than the fist size group of 25. That's acceptable combat accuracy for a handgun at 25. You do your due diligence at close range, get as precise of a 0 as possible before you move off at the further distances. So what I would do is, if this is your defensive handgun, this is your daily carry, what I would do personally is confirm 0 at as many yard lines as possible, right? So I would do it like 3 yards, 5 yards, 10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards, 25 yards. If I have the ability to, I'm going to do it at 30 yards, 40 yards, 50 yards, just to see what my groupings look like. And I'd call it a day. That's what I would do. So, real quick, pro tip, just so you can get set up, adjust your dot brightness so you can see it clearly with as little halo effect as possible. So don't have it cranked all the way up so you're getting that sparkle halo effect to it. Have it where you can just barely see it plus 1 click up. The click adjustments on the RMR, they're not real distinct. They're kind of mushy, right? So sitting there and trying to do the whole formula for X number of clicks equal X number of inches of movement at this yard, but you're changing, for 5 yards to 25 yards. Don't even screw around with it. Just go bold. Like say I go a quarter rotation and see where that gets me. If it's too much, back it off by half. It'll just go so much faster than you sitting there trying to count individual clicks. Because like I said, it's mushy and you don't always get them. So just go bold adjustment. If it's too much over travel, like we did earlier, we just split the difference and went back and just fine tuned it a little click here and there until we got it pretty much where we wanted. So that's pretty much it right there. I definitely advise buying an adjustable brightness LED version of the RMR, just because your shooting conditions. If you have the auto adjust, that can mess with you. I would just go with the RM06 V2. It's probably the best RMR for a handgun.
Also, don't do your 0 in super cold conditions.
It's like 20
with
degrees
super
right now,
windy
so.
conditions. My dick is so cold.